Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. And he says, can you recommend some shrubs that can tolerate a few hours of morning sun but then are nearly in full shade the remainder of the day?
Oh, yeah. And I say that as long as my retrieval system works. But there are a number of things, Bert. I would tell you that my search yesterday at about 4 in the afternoon brought me to a plant called Kyria, Kerria. Kyria is kind of a loose grower. It has been really attractive all winter long with a light green stem, not chartreuse, but a true light green stem. And then yesterday, at that 4 o'clock period, sitting way back in the shade, literally under 2 Austrian pines and a blue spruce, so that there might be some dappled sun get in there. But Kyria does a fine job. And last summer, it was one of the most outstanding plants in my yard, growing in the shade. Can take some sun. There's no question about it. But growing in full shade, it flowered 3 different times. Heaviest right now on through this spring period. Came back into bloom, I can't remember for sure, but let's just say late May, and held for quite a while, and then in the fall again. So Kyria is one of the things. Another one I have growing under another type of pine tree. It's called alpine currant. There's a standard form that gets 6 foot tall, and then there is the alpine currant that gets it's a miniature or dwarf. Now, by that meaning that I put in 3 plants. They're now covering an area of 8 by 9 or 10 feet across. They're standing fully thigh high. They're easily managed with pruning. I haven't done so in quite a while, so that's another. Many types of hydrangea will do. Right now, in a spectacular display, the PJM rhododendron. I think I mentioned it last week as the plant of the week. It's unfortunately, it's only 2 weeks of bloom. Many plants are the same way, and that baby is over the hill now. It's still in full color, but half the petals have dropped off, and it always breaks my heart when that happens, but it's just a good, durable plant. Boxwood will handle shade. Azaleas. Now, you have to be careful with the with the rhododendron and azaleas. They require a loose, loamy soil and treated with acid unless you happen to have acidic soils. And in most of Ohio, that is not much of a case. And then Virginia sweetspire, which, oh my, it has another name too. You find it in the garden. Anyhow, Virginia sweetspire is its common name. Serviceberry, taller than my house. Now, taller than the gutter on my house, is a small tree that does the same thing. And then there is oak leaf hydrangea. A friend of mine, a significant nurseryman in the northeastern part of Ohio, started taking a picture of me at my full 5 foot 6.5 or something like that, by an oak leaf hydrangea. Well, it was supposed to stall out at 6 foot. It's now, I think, dwarfing me with around 10 foot. Oh. I have some in my own yard. Beautiful structure, loose growing plants, but an oak-like leaf, 6, 8, even 10 inches long sometimes, fuzzy. The bark on the stems peels. These are just a few of the things that will do well. Bottlebrush buckeye, another fantastic plant. It's going to top out at 12 feet at the max. And then jet bead. So hope you were writing, Bert. Those are the ones that'll get you started.
A lot of different options there.
Very many.
Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Howard and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Circle270media.com